The day I found out my best friend was sleeping with my husband, I felt like a stranger was wearing my face. My name is Sarah. I'm 32 years old, and up until 6 months ago, I believed I had a life built on solid ground. Mark, my husband, and I had been together for 10 years, married for 7. We shared everything: a beautiful home, 2 spirited children, and a comfortable, predictable life in the suburbs. My best friend, Chloe, was practically family. She was godmother to my son, a constant presence at every family gathering, my go-to for late-night talks and shared laughs. Everything was exactly how I'd always pictured my perfect world to be. But everything changed when I saw that familiar necklace in her car. We met in college, Chloe and I. She was the wild, spontaneous one. I was the planner. Opposites attracting, that's what everyone said. We navigated boyfriends, exams, and awkward family dinners together. She was there when Mark and I first met, cheering us on. She even helped him pick out my engagement ring. Mark and Chloe had always had an easygoing, platonic friendship. They'd joke around, share inside memes. It was never a concern. She was my sister by choice, my forever. 7 years into our marriage, our life was busy, full. Mark's career as an architect was taking off, and I was juggling my part-time marketing job with school runs and soccer practice. Life was good, but a little hectic. We still made time for each other, for family dinners, for our Friday night movie ritual. We'd double date with Chloe and her then boyfriend Ben every other month. We were a unit, or so I thought. I was 3 weeks into a major project at work when I first noticed Mark being secretive. He'd hold his phone away from me. He'd take calls in the other room, whispering, "Just work stuff," he'd say, flashing a quick, almost too bright smile. He started going to the gym more, buying new clothes. He'd shower immediately after getting home, which was a new habit. My gut tightened, a cold knot forming deep inside. I pushed it down. Mark was just under stress. He was taking better care of himself. I should have known. And that's when things got worse. I started paying closer attention. He'd occasionally forget his phone, and a quick glance at the lock screen would show a flurry of messages from Chloe. Innocent enough, I told myself. They were friends, but the sheer volume was jarring. Once, while he was in the shower, his phone buzzed. A text from Chloe popped up. "Thinking about you. Can't wait for tonight." My blood ran cold. Tonight? What was tonight? I picked up the phone, my fingers trembling, but before I could unlock it, the shower turned off. He walked out, towel wrapped around his waist, and saw me holding his phone. His face drained of color. "What are you doing, Sarah?" he asked, his voice suddenly sharp, unfamiliar. I mumbled something about checking the time, my heart hammering against my ribs. He snatched the phone from my hand, his eyes narrowed. "Don't ever go through my phone," he said, his voice hard. "It's an invasion of privacy." I felt a shiver run down my spine. The air in the room grew thick with unspoken tension. He'd never spoken to me like that before. And that's when things got worse. The situation intensified. I started watching them more closely when they were together. The way Chloe would laugh a little too long at Mark's jokes, the way his hand would linger on her arm, just a fraction of a second too long. I saw a stolen glance across the dinner table one night, a look that spoke volumes. My mind replayed every interaction, every casual touch, every shared secret I'd dismissed as harmless friendship. I started feeling like an outsider in my own home, in my own life. I wanted to confront them, to scream, to demand answers, but a terrifying fear held me back. What if I was wrong? What if I was just imagining things, turning innocent friendships into something ugly? The thought of destroying my marriage, my friendship, over a paranoid delusion was unbearable. I desperately wanted to believe it was all in my head, a result of my own insecurities. But I wasn't ready for what I discovered next. It was a Tuesday afternoon. I was picking up my son from school. Chloe was supposed to pick up her niece from the same school, and I saw her car pull up. As she got out, a small silver necklace slipped from her coat pocket and fell to the ground. It was a delicate chain with a tiny silver airplane charm. My breath hitched. It was the same necklace I had bought Mark for our 5th wedding anniversary. He rarely took it off. Chloe bent down, picked it up, and quickly tucked it back into her pocket, not seeing me. My world tilted. The air left my lungs. I felt like I was drowning. My vision blurred. How could she have it? Why? In that moment, a tidal wave of nausea hit me. I could barely breathe. The pieces clicked into place with a horrifying clarity. The late nights, the secrecy, the new clothes, the whispers, my best friend, my husband. The betrayal cut deeper than any knife. I walked up to her, my voice a strangled whisper. "Chloe," I managed, "where did you get that necklace?" She froze, her eyes widening, her face paling. She looked like a deer caught in headlights. "What necklace?" she stammered, her hand unconsciously clutching her pocket. "The airplane," I said, my voice gaining strength, though it shook uncontrollably. "The one Mark never takes off." Her eyes darted away to the ground, anywhere but my face. It's a gift," she whispered. "From a new friend." The lie was so flimsy, so pathetic, it made me sick. I didn't need to hear her say it. The truth was screaming at me. "Don't lie to me, Chloe," I said, my voice cracking, tears streaming down my face. "I know." Her shoulders slumped, her eyes filled with tears, not of remorse, but of being caught. My world shattered in that moment. What happened next was a blur of raw emotion. I confronted Mark that night. He denied it, then confessed, then begged for forgiveness, a pathetic display that only fueled my rage and grief. The arguments were brutal, filled with accusations and tears. The kids were confused, sensing the shift in the atmosphere. Chloe called, then texted, then showed up at my door trying to explain, to apologize, but her words were meaningless, hollow. Our friends were shocked, taking sides, whispering. My family was devastated. I moved into the guest room, the silence between us louder than any argument. Sleep was impossible, food unappetizing. Every memory, every shared laugh, every "I love you" felt poisoned, a cruel lie. The lowest point was seeing my son draw a picture of our family, with a question mark where Daddy's face should be. I knew then that I had to make the hardest decision of my life. I filed for divorce. It's been 4 months since that day. Mark moved out. Chloe is no longer in my life. The divorce proceedings are messy, complicated, but I'm seeing it through. There are still days when the pain is a physical ache, a heavy weight in my chest. Some nights, I still cry myself to sleep. But there are also moments of unexpected peace, moments where I breathe freely, where I laugh with my children, where I feel a flicker of hope for the future. I'm rediscovering myself, the woman I was before the betrayal, the woman I want to be for my children. It's not a fairy tale ending, not yet, but it's real. It's my messy, complicated, hopeful reality. What I learned from all of this is that sometimes the people you trust the most can hurt you the deepest, but you are stronger than you think. Your worth isn't defined by someone else's choices or their betrayal. If you find yourself in a similar situation, listen to your gut. Don't ignore the red flags. And remember, you deserve honesty, respect, and a love that is true. Your healing journey may be long, but it's a journey worth taking. You will get through this, and you will find your strength again.